See, only someone part foreign could get a score that good. See, Lily and I grin at Emmy's expense. Her reaction identical to mine when I'd first tripped on that little landmine. God, I can't read. Lily's foreign ancestry does raise a point, though. Oh, that's right. You leave tomorrow for Scotland, don't you? That's correct. I mean, I heard some rumors about it. It seems word spreading quickly considering I only told a friend in my class a couple days ago. Must be so nice to go halfway around the world on a holiday. Hey, could you buy me something while you're there? Don't be too shy now. Lily gives a light-hearted giggle, evidently fully expecting Emmy's bluntness. The rest of the lunch continues much the same as before, the jauntiness from before my heart flutter thankfully returning in full. As everyone files off with the appropriate farewells, only Lily and I are left. Hey, Lily. She packs the last of her things into her bag and clips it shut, before perking her head up slightly. Thanks for breaking the silence back there. I kinda wanted to stop it, but didn't really know how to. As much as I'd like to sound less morose about it, the letter from yesterday screwing up a test so badly in class, and now my heart makes things very hard indeed. She gives an indulgent smile and nods. I hope she hasn't picked up on it, but knowing her, it's unlikely that she hasn't. Emmy's strong, but only human. We do worry about you, Hisao. Hold on, why would I worry you? Her smiling face collapses, becoming uncomfortably serious. Hisao, we are not ignorant of your situation. Unlike... She suddenly cuts herself short, unsure of whether she should say what she intends to. I give a weak smile and rest my hand on her shoulder. Don't. It's enough that I worry about it. I don't want you all to shoulder my burden. But if you all worry about it, I have to worry about your worrying, if that makes sense. I'm fine, okay? For a moment she looks to be lost in thought, carefully pondering how to react. Hisao, do you have any paper left from your food's packaging? I think so. I'll just check. I rummage around in my bag for leftovers from lunch, eventually finding a paper square for my sandwich's package. My eyebrows raised and my expression rather quizzical, I gently place the square into Lily's hand. Without another word, she brings her fingers around it and feels out its edges. This should be large enough. With both of us seated on the roof, the minutes to the lesson ticking away, she proceeds to lay the item on the ground and begins her work in earnest. Wrapped in silence, I watch her fingers move around the small square with amazing dexterity. A small fold here, a larger fold here, there. Her fingertips keep a slow but sure pace. Looking up, her expression is calm and placid. The fact her face is pointed well above the she is in front of her makes the sight of her work all the more curious. Her shoulder slumps a bit after finishing one final fold. I'm guessing it's like origami. Her work apparently done. It's only when she holds the item up in her hands that I realize what it is. Yeah, buddy. I called it. A small origami crane. Light brown thanks to the packaging used, the result looks quite delicate and precise. You can do origami? I taught myself how to do it when I was younger. It improved my dexterity a bit. Huh. A little baffled, I carefully take the small bird from her pale, cupped hands as if it would break from the slightest breath. It seems to be folded quite well and holds its shape easily. We both grab our bags and head out the door, Lily extending her cane as she does so. I hold Lily's hand to work up to my face for further inspection while we walk down the hallway, her hand running along the silver handrails for orientation. She taught herself origami to improve her dexterity, with the use of her hands meaning so much of her to her given her condition. Ah, so that's it. I smile as I realize the bird's meaning. Everyone here has had their own ways of dealing with their conditions. You aren't alone here when you have problems. Thanks, Lily. I appreciate this. She gives a sweet smile and a nod, not using words where none need to be used in her typical manner. All I ask is that you take care of yourself, Hisao. Don't worry, I will. Promise? Promise. With that, we part ways. To be honest, I don't know what annoys me more. The fact that I could die at any moment, or the fact that everyone knows that. I guess I'll just take each day as it comes, as the unexpected present in my hand reminds me I'm not alone here. Even though I may be like this, I'm not alone. If they worry, if anyone worries, I'll smile. I'll smile enough for all their worries to go away. Only 15 minutes in, I'm kind of happy. I started like 5 minutes. I could go a little longer. My friend gets out of work at 10. Kind of want to do other stuff, but I'm not sure. The moment the bell rings out, a collective sigh of relief comes from everyone. Much of the morning's been taken up by a droning lecture on, I don't even, stoichiometry? A topic entirely unbefitting of an insufferable heat permitting to the school. Permeating, there we go. Knowing that attempting to teach anything more would be an exercise in futility, Mitao gives up and begins clearing the teaching materials from his desk for the day. This meaningless banter starts filling the classroom. I know Hinako getting up and coming to my desk. She's been a lot less withdrawn lately, something which gives me a small measure of satisfaction. Hello, Hisao. Hey, want to go pick up Lily then? It's close to the time when she'd need to get going if she's going to make the flight. About that. She said she might be held up a bit by her classmates. I suppose that makes sense. Her class usually gets off a little earlier than ours, so Lily would normally have just come to our classroom. Her class must be sending her off. Well, never mind. We can wait outside her classroom for once, right? Aw, so cute. She gives a small giggle before nodding, the two of us taking over things and leaving for 4-2's classroom. When we reach our destination, I stop in idle amusement at the scene inside. One of the shorter girls from the class has Lily wrapped in an enthusiastic hug, her head no higher than Lily's chin. Her other friends, of which there are several, are gathered around her as well. Lily simply smiles kindly and hugs her back. I guess Lily must be pretty popular compared to Shizune's harsh but fair dictatorship of 3-3. Lily seems more like a mother figure of 3-2, to say nothing of her height and looks. Kenji's pointedly cool demeanor as he packs up his things as he is in the back corner of the classroom is expected. He's no doubt far from a fan of the fuss being made about Lily's leaving. Looking besides me and seeing Hinako following my gaze, I decide to finally enter the room. Afternoon, Lily. It's just me and Hinako. Just me and Hinako. Hinako withers noticeably when exposed to the din being made around Lily. They can't see you, though. Try she might. I doubt she'll ever completely get over her social anxiety. Hello. Lily manages to work out our position reasonably well, her classmates detaching herself without a second word. A look of slight exasperation is written on Lily's face, though I can't say I blame her. Hello, Hisao, Hinako. Do we have much time before the flight leaves? I give a quick glance at my watch. Taking the trip to the airport into account, there's a good 10, maybe 15 minutes left while still allowing for contingencies. I don't know. Contingencies or whatever. Yeah, we still have a few minutes to kill. I wouldn't worry about missing it yet. Ah, is that Hinako? Uh-oh. I think we've just... Is that... Okay, classmate. We've just inadvertently become entangled in Lily's social web. The girl's probably part of the legally blind faction of the class, like Kenji, given her almost window pane-like spectacles. Her short, roughly cut hair gives her a look that fits her excitable expression. Hello, She takes Hanako's hand and pulls it up and down enthusiastically. I really don't get how girls can be so social to someone they only know as the friend of a friend. While Hinako exchanges nervous greetings, I look around the room for my short and overdressed next-door neighbor. Try as I might, he seems to have slipped out of the classroom without anyone noticing. For a moment, I tried to think of a possible career path that could reasonably benefit from his single skill, before putting my mind to more pertinent matter. Lily seems pleased, if somewhat guarded about the enthusiasm Hinako is suddenly excited from those around her. She might not see it, but Hanako's much less panicked about the affair than I had anticipated. Shuffling my way through the gaggle of classmates, I eventually managed to reach her. Don't worry, Hanako's fine. Thank you, I thought she might be overwhelmed by them. Don't worry, we'll be gentle. Both of us grimace in unison. Hanako's nervous grin stays plastered on her face as another couple of girls move in to meet her. It's kind of amazing that even just a month ago she'd never have been able to cope with a situation such as this. Even when I first met her, the two of us completely alone, she sprinted from the library. So, got everything you need? It's all packed, I just have to go to my room to pick it up on the way, and Hanako and I need to change. I guess we'd better get going then, Hanako. Hanako's head flicks up towards us in a flash, her face rather unmistakably appreciating the chance to extricate herself from the small group gathering around her. Coming! The long taxi ride to the airport is surprisingly pleasant, despite the three of us being rather squashed together to fit in the back seat. On the other hand, maybe despite isn't the right word. Lily pays the fare to the driver as we file out, Hanako's eyes flittering left and right. Thankfully, there aren't too many people around, most of them being inside the main building rather than milling around outside. It isn't hard to spot Akira and Hidaki leaning against a fence while talking to pass the time. A large black travel bag, complete with wheels and travel handle, leans against the fence alongside them. Hidaki's the first to notice us, pointing us out to Akira, who gives an over-enthusiastic wave. Hey, hey! I grab Lily's travel bag for her as we go to meet the two, earning a nod of appreciation. I've got all the stuff here. You got yours? Plane ticket as well? Don't worry, I have everything. You? Yep, all ready to go. Now without some problems along the way, I might add. I love that face. And his, because he just got his foot stomped on, I'm pretty sure. Oh, maybe not. The snide remark has his hand roughly dragged around by a very firm, clamped-on hand. Haha, yeah, I kinda sorta forgot it was in my trousers pocket. Trousers that I'd put in the wash. Oh no. Don't worry, don't worry. Did you know you can print out tickets if you order online nowadays? It's really cool. Hidaki's pained expression says that this wasn't a solution found quickly. It could have been worse, I guess. We'd better start off then. Check-in would be ready by now. Yeah, you're right. There's a certain amount of wistfulness in both their voices, to say nothing of the people left behind. Meeting their family again after all these years would be big for them. Lily. Hanako wraps Lily in a gentle hug to say goodbye, one which is warmly reciprocated. Lily and I share a brief hug afterwards, each of us saying our goodbyes. Beside us, Akira and Hidaki break off from a small hug and a word or two between them. It would have probably looked quite nice if not for the almost comical height difference between the two. Lily takes a hold of her sister's arm I forgot she was a girl for a second. God damn. Sister's arm once all that needs to be said in farewells is said, the two walking past the huge glass doors. Goodbye, Hisao, Hanako. See ya, don't do anything stupid, shorty. We wave at them until they disappear from sight in the throng of people moving about inside, and then we're alone. Well, that's that. I turn to see Hidaki already beginning to walk off. See ya. He throws a hand in the air in a manner I'd expect of Akira. In the end, it's just Hanako and I left standing outside. I rest my hand on her shoulder. She absent-mindedly gazes towards the front door of the building, as if she might catch a glimpse of either of the two before they disappear. Don't worry, the time will pass fast. She hesitates for a moment, but eventually nods. With the scorching heat of the summer sun beaming down on us, we make our way to the nearby bus stop. It's strange, really. Just when I had begun to see Lily differently, she leaves on what almost feels like a pilgrimage to the past. In a way, though, that's just what I've been doing since coming to Yamaku. As much as I may reflect on everything that's happened to me, I really am hardly unique. Everyone has their own circumstances and separate paths to get where they are now. Yet, I still can't work out how I should proceed. My life may have practically been reset, and I still can't find anything that satisfactorily fills the hole I still feel in myself. Maybe Lily's leaving will be a good thing for me. Without her to lean on, I'll need to do more for myself. I'll have to be there for Hanako as well. It feels strange to have so much changing so quickly after my months in that hospital that seem to exist so separately from reality. But that's all the more reason for me to keep focused. I can't let any opportunity slip out of my fingers in my attempt to rebuild my life. Are we in Act 3? Act 3. Present. Okay, usually like a kiss would advance us into Act 3. I rest my chin on my hand as I absentmindedly look out the window. Yet another of Mattel's lectures droning on and on as if it were endless. The summer sky is almost alluring in its bright cerulean splendor. Only the odd passing cloud breaks up the deep blue expanse. That feeling of longing is probably the outdoors side of me yearning to escape. Nikai, could you answer this? Fuck. That side of me is lost to the past now, though. In that case, I think it would use the "and" suffix. Correct. Moving on, the suffix for. As my attention towards Mattel slips once again, I spot Misha giving me an enthusiastic thumbs up and nod at her to settle her down. It becomes a handful of days since Lily left for Scotland, days which have passed relatively peacefully. Life largely continued as usual, in contrast to what I had expected. While thoughts of her have danced around on the edge of my mind since she left, present events managed to subdue them, at least for the time being. So I found myself idly chatting with Hanako, as usual when lunchtime finally rolls by. Are the later ones in the series good as well? Not really. You're probably best off just sticking to the original. His later books didn't live up to it, other than maybe God Emperor. Thanks. I wasn't really sure if... As Hanako steps to the side, I see Shizune stride up in her typical business-like manner, flanked by her ever-present, bright-haired shadow. Try as I might, I can't read any hint of their intent from their faces. Shizune's poker face and Misha's seemingly boundless cheerfulness are a devilish combination. Morning, Shizune. Misha. Hi. I accentuate the greeting with a nod to Shizune in order to get the point across. She promptly and curtly returns the gesture to both of us. It's been a long while since I've really talked to either of them. For a while I thought they might be avoiding me, but I eventually came to the conclusion that Shizune really isn't the type to do so. Morning, Shichan says that Mattel wants to see you sometime. Oh fuck. That's actually probably the science club. Because of this statement, my face contorts as if I'd just eaten spoiled food, giving Misha no end of amusement. Bah ha 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 ha! Anyone think you were trouble, Hichan? You may not be aware of it, but you have the least to worry about out of anyone in the class. What an unexpected vote of confidence. Even Hanako nods hesitantly to affirm the point. Thanks, I'll keep that in mind. There was something I wanted to ask you, though. And what might that be, Hichan? I have a feeling this won't go over well, but here goes. Is there any reason why you and Lily don't get along? It seems like even a little civility would help you both in your duties. Oh shit. Susan's cold stare after Misha happily signs the word stops me in my tracks. In hindsight, I really could have worded that better. Out of the corner of my eye, I'm sure I see Hanako move back just a little. Thankfully, Shizune notices this and lets her temper dissipate. As she forcibly runs her hands through her hair to let off steam. Perfectly on cue, Misha begins interpreting the second Shizune's arms begin to move. I would say that much matters aren't relevant to you, but since you seem to have befriended Lily, she pauses to adjust her glasses, evidently attempting to articulate her point in the best possible manner. While I assume the same of her, I cannot call my own views on the matter unbiased. Suffice to say, we were closer before than we are now. Shizune makes a quick